Welcome back, guys. I hope your day is going well. Thank you for joining back to watch the video. As always, some interesting updates for this video. And let's start with Mikel Obi, who has now criticized foreign-born players for always picking Nigerian Super Eagles as the second choice, when they want to come play for the national team.
Presenting their African roots.
Yeah.
We've held meetings with these kids, with their parents, and said, listen, you are from Nigeria. Your dad is Nigerian. Your mom is Nigerian. Why don't you present your fatherland, Nigeria? We want to play for England, France, whatever it is.
Yeah.
And then they wait.
Yes.
And then they keep waiting and keep waiting.
Yeah.
When they get to 25, 26, and they don't get a call up from England, then they call Nigeria. We shouldn't be treated as second options. We are not second options. You should be proud of your African roots. You should be proud to represent your African country. I want the best players to play in Africa. So you rather make a decision and stand by it.
Yeah.
If you decide you want to play for England, stick to it. Sit and wait. If you don't get a call up, you don't get a call up. But don't wait until 29, 30, you've passed your best, whatever it is. Then you're, Nigerian FA, I'm ready to play for you now. No, fuck off, mate.
Obi obviously took a dig at a number of players that we've seen in the past, specifically the likes of Shola Amobi, who decided to play for Nigerian Super Eagles after England didn't give him a call-up. So instead of not playing for any national team and resigning with that dream of his dying, he actually decided to contact NFF and they gave him a chance to represent Nigeria, which he did for a really short time. I think it was just 1 year. He had a few assists, he had a few caps for Nigeria, less than 10 caps, and just scored 1 goal. And in the end, that was it. But Mikel Obi is not happy with these kinds of situation whereby, we see all of these players, we identify them at a very young age. Just for one reason or the other, they want to play for another country, probably the country of their birth, that's not Nigeria, or the country where they grew up and spent most of their years in. But the thing is, Mikel is not exactly against these players deciding not to play for Nigerian Super Eagles, but he's saying that if these players want to play for countries like England or France or Germany, when they are being called up by NFF, they should say it and then stick to it, and stick to it until the end, even if they are getting old and this country of their preference don't give them a call up, that they should not, wake up one morning when they are like 28 or 30 years old, when they've, played their best football, and decide to contact NFF that, hey, they are now ready to play for Nigerian Super Eagles. So this is what Mikel is criticizing against. Obviously, we know a lot of Nigerian Super Eagles eligible players who are across Europe, who we've been talking about on this channel, about the possibility of them coming to play for Nigerian Super Eagles. And most of these players are not exactly giving any signs that they want to come play for Nigeria. We know all these players, we've been talking about so we'll be saying that these players that have not got their call up and they are still waiting, that they should keep waiting, and just wait forever. If they get the call up, fine. If they don't get the call up, they should just, play club football and forget about, representing the national team. Not when they're getting old and then they don't get call up, they will now, try to fix themselves in the Nigerian Super Eagles because they feel that we will always accept them. And Obi is now saying that no, that has to stop because Nigeria is not a second choice. It's not your second choice. Nigeria is on equal standard with all of these countries, the England, the Germany, the France, as what Obi has said. And for the first time, I feel very happy about what Obi has said on this podcast, because this idea resonates with all of us who love Nigerian Super Eagles and want to get it to the heights where it needs to be. And more than that, Obi actually gave the hint that he might be running for the presidency of the Nigerian Football Federation, which is a really, really interesting news. Quite a bit shocking, to be honest, for me, because I've always seen Obi as someone who doesn't want to relate or associate too much with Nigeria, especially after he played his football, spent 10 years plus in England. And, even right now, he's still living in England and Dubai. His family is between England and Dubai. He doesn't really come home very much. But it's a shocker for me, the response that he gave on his Instagram replying to one of his fans who asked him if he's ever going to come around to be the president of the NFF, because the people that are currently there are just big pot-belly men who eat money and feel the corruption, they don't have integrity and all of that. So Mikel responded with a clock emoji, which shows that only time will tell. There's a possibility that in the future he might actually consider doing something like that. Mikel, obviously engaged with his fans on his Instagram post, who commented, talked about the way forward for the Nigerian Super Eagles, NFF, the sports ministry in general, which is obviously something that we'd love to see. Of course, there have been a lot of talks about corruption in the ministry, NFF, all of it, how there's been favoritism, nepotism, bribery and corruption, all sorts of things, and players not being taken care of very much. This is actually one of the reasons why we don't get to see commitments from these players, because their welfare is nothing to write home about. Some of these players, in fact, all of these players are still being held salary. So all of these things are things that needs to be worked on, enhanced. If someone that is capable takes on that role as the president of the NFF, so this is what the fans wanted to know from Mikel, if he's actually willing to do something like that. Well, I wanted to put it straight to you. Would you like to see an ex-player actually occupying that space as the NFF's president? Do you think it's going to make any difference compared with what we have now? Now, moving forward, let me let you know that Nathan Tella and Victor Boniface obviously were impressive for Bayern Leverkusen as they kick off their preseason games. They actually played a match yesterday against RW Essen, and they won that game 2-1. Nathan Tella getting on the score sheets, in that game, and playing some really important role for this Bayern Leverkusen side as they defeated Essen. And they played a couple of good minutes. He and Boniface, they actually started the game and then played for 67 minutes before they were substituted. Again, what I love about their performances is that it shows how much of a good season this can become for them, especially for the likes of Victor Boniface, who I was so happy to see starting the match and playing up to the 67 minutes. We know how he suffered with injury, and that really affected him a lot in the second half of the season with Bayern Leverkusen. We saw Alonso putting him in the bench a lot of times, but this time, this man is looking really strong and healthy. He's fit enough to start games, play for, half an hour, which is obviously something really, really important. Nathan Tella, of course, making a statement there shows that he is really ready for next season. And then to wrap up this video, let me end with the Nigerian Super Falcons updates. And one man, Victor Ipkeba, former African Footballer of the Year, has now backed the Nigerian Super Falcons to bounce back. He actually gave them a good review or good ratings for that first game against Brazil. He said that they played really well. They actually had their moments, but the thing that they failed to do was obviously converting some of their chances, and that's in the end resulted in their punishments, as they lost 1-0. But Victor Ipkeba is tipping Nigerian Super Falcons to bounce back against Spain, which is also a really strong side. But he believes in them. He says that, these girls are very organized, that the only areas that they're having issues in the attacking area, that's where they actually need to start getting results, scoring goals, converting their chances. That is the update for this video. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like and share the video. React to any of the stories that you like. Subscribe if you're just finding this channel for the first time, and take care of yourself. Stay tuned for more updates.